You know what, NS Nation? I was kind of thinking while I was running errands today, I was kind of thinking about X-Men Evolution. It really started out great. We even got a little bit of an Apocalypse entry into that animated series, but nothing beats the 80s and the 90s X-Men animated series. And really, like, nothing beats a lot of the Marvel animated series that came out around that time. Just a lot of excellence in those. And you know, today's kids, I don't want to sound like an old man, but today's kids just don't know about the good stuff. I'm a 90s baby myself, but I do remember X-Men the animated series. It was such an adult like cartoon. Like, yeah, little kids could watch it, but it had a lot of mature adult elements that were integrated into the cartoon. It made Wolverine such a household name around that time for the younger generation. They really got introduced to Wolverine because, you know, around that time, Game Boy was coming out, you know, Nintendo was starting to take over the world, and wasn't nobody really trying to read comics like that. I mean, I did because my uncle himself, he grew up in a time when comics were popular, when drawing was like all the rage, and if you could draw, you were really a cool kid on the block. So he really got me into all that Star Wars, comic-driven things that just, I guess, today qualifies you as a nerd. But being a nerd is all the rage today. So our X-Men, the animated series, was something I really got into, and I just remember how mature of a cartoon it was for its time. But let's see what Screen Junkies has to say. They're usually pretty funny, but they're also kind of fair. You know, they like to poke fun at stuff, but they don't go over the top. So let's see what Honest Trailers has to say, and let's get into this reaction. Right in time for X-Men Apocalypse.
Before you witness the X-Pocalypse, experience the definitive version of the X-Men, as long as you grew up in the 90s.
Look what she did to the VCR just by touching it.
X-Men, the animated series. Return to the era of Super Soakers and Pizza Bagels.
Yes.
In a decade where no one gave a crap about the Avengers, for the first comic adaptation to combine quips and bright colors with depth and high stakes, all wrapped up in a theme song that's been stuck in your head for decades. I mean, seriously, if Professor X was real, all I'd hear is ba-na-na-na-na. Suit up with an X-Men team you're pretty damn familiar with by now, who are all pretty much the same as their movie counterparts, except the spandex is yellower, the rogues are sexier, and Jubilee is a main character for some reason. Because what the X-Men really need is a Mallrat with a
An X-Men Apocalypse, I heard she got cut to the deleted scenes.
Apprehended the leader of the mutant rebellion.
Stop trying to make Jubilee happen, show. It's not gonna happen. Return to the mid-90s on Fox, where in between reruns of Ink the Cat and Power Rangers, you'd watch the X-Men bring classic storylines to life.
Mission accomplished, buddy. Okay.
Like the Phoenix Saga that was so much better than X3, Days of Future Past that's as good as Days of Future Past, and a Weapon X episode that's so much better than Wolverine Origins.
Oh, man.
Almost give them a pass for the half-ass season 5 where they moved production to the Philippines.
To get the other half of the crystal is waltz right into Magnus's fortress.
Yeesh. Don't get any ideas, singer. Prepare for a series that's about so much more than fighting supervillains. It's also about fighting prejudice.
No more mutants! No more mutants.
As racists and bigots of all stripes are defeated by a stereotypical Southerner,
Lalandra's out combing a leftover husband.
stereotypical Cajun,
I forgot about Rogue.
stereotypical Russian,
Dos Vidania.
and stereotypical German.
Of course, Fräulein.
Because nothing defeats stereotypes like a different, more powerful stereotype. So gear up for this 90s cartoon that's great despite being very much a product of its time.
Surrender, mutant.
Of course. Not.
That might be the second best superhero series ever made. And when first place is Batman, second place ain't half bad. Starring Sentinels sucking at their jobs.
I am still...
They made the Sentinels look so badass in Days of Future Past. That's why I'm laughing at this.
Rain, wind, lightning, rain, lightning, thunder.
awesome Easter eggs.
His name is Cable.
Assassin!
It's Miss Marvel!
Woo!
Wolverine trying to curse.
All right, you egg-sucking piece of gutter trash. Out of my way, Doctor. You piece of alien gutter trash.
Cliffhangers.
But that was a lot of 90s cartoons.
Wolverine grunting.
Always. No matter what, always. He's not Wolverine without the grunts.
Scott and Jean yelling each other's names.
Bub.
Scott! Jean! Scott! Jean! Scott!
Inuyasha Kagome!
Jean? Jean!
And Jean Grey's X-gasms.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Is it weird that this is kind of turning me on? X-Men, better than the movies. You know the only thing better than the intro? The Japanese intro.
Wow.
Sugoi. Be sure to subscribe.
We got Jip.
for more honest trailers. It's not just a phase, Dad. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I can't see. I hope they cast Rob Schneider as Cable.
Nope.
Hold the door.
Hold the door. Oh, no, don't do that to
I like
me.
shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear.
Okay. Man, like I said, X-Men animated series, it's just such a great series. Oh man, I like being a 90s kid, we were spoiled with so much great crap. Just like technology wise, but also animated wise, we had a bunch of great shows. We had the Super Nintendo, we had the big fat Game Boy, and then the Game Boy Pocket came out, and then the Game Boy Color. Oh man, we just had so much great crap. If I could go back to those days, I wouldn't, because I couldn't survive without my PS4. I'd just be looking at games back then and I'd be like, man, how many years until Uncharted, for real? But anyway, yeah, it was such a great cartoon. And you know, no cartoon is without its problems, but like I said, the X-Men animated series was just so adult driven. It had a lot of depth. It had a lot of issues that would kind of fly over a child's head at that time. But it has such great writing, and that's what X-Men has always been. It's always been a commentary on society. Even from the very first comic that came out, you know, you kind of, if you sit down and you read the first issue of X-Men, you're kind of like, huh, I did not know these characters were like this. You're like, does not come through in the movies. I mean, for God's sakes, Professor X was in love with Jean Grey. Come on. Anyway, if you like the video, remember to hit the thumbs up. Like the channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, stay up to date on all the latest Nerdy Sense content. I'll be coming at you soon with more reactions, but I'm pretty sure my review of X-Men Apocalypse is going to come next, unless they drop some big time trailer or video and I just happen to get wind of it before I go to work tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll catch you then. NS Nation, stand up. Okay. He's a wrestler. Oh! Oh, suplex. He looks so cool.
डॉक्टर की शादी डॉक्टर से हो रहा है, इंजीनियर की इंजीनियर से, पहलवान की जोड़ी पहलवान से पड़ेगी ना, मैं इसी से शादी बनाऊंगा।
My name Sultan Ali Khan, full Hassan TV.
जब इंग्लिश नहीं आती तो उसकी माँ बहन क्यों कर रहा है?
बनने लागे कि अंग्रेजी में लड़की जल्दी पटे आई लव यू बोलो और उसके बाद सीधा किस होए।
लाइफ में तू क्या करना चाहता है?